So in Arizona, specifically in Mesa, Arizona, we have a school called the East Valley Institute of Technology, or EVIT. And EVIT is run by the Mesa Public School System, and so if you are a Mesa Public School student in high school, you can attend EVIT and take classes there for free. EVIT is a vocational school, and so you go there to learn, I don't know all of the programs, but I think they have an automotive program. They have culinary arts. They have, I think, like TV production. And my brother and I, one summer, took law enforcement. They have law enforcement and they have firefighting. And the law enforcement and firefighting courses are in an annex, so they're not the main building. So I don't quite remember what the main building looks like. I'd only ever been in there once, and it was a very large building. That I remember. Very fancy, very nice. It had just been built within the last, literally within like the last couple years before I went there. In Oklahoma City, they have a very similar school called Francis Tuttle, run by one of the maybe a couple of the Oklahoma City school districts, and they offer courses for high schoolers, but they also offer adult courses. And I don't remember if EVIT did. Maybe they do. When I went to EVIT, this is literally 15 going on 20 years ago. 15 years ago. So, I signed up for a bread baking course. I mentioned it in the video yesterday. That's why I'm telling this whole story, because I went to the bread baking class today. Yay! The course was about yeast bread. It was called Artisanal Bread Baking, Yeast Breads. And the course description actually mentions a lot of breads, like cinnamon rolls, dinner rolls, breadsticks, brioche, braids and ropes, focaccia, all kinds of breads. And so I went there. It's a 3-hour course. It costs like $39. And I wasn't expecting, I wanted to kind of get a feel for it, because there are literally, they sent a catalog to my apartment. And when I went through it, there are literally like almost $800 worth of bread baking courses that I want to take. But one, I don't have that much money, and two, I didn't know what the course would be like. I wanted to see what the quality was like before I, decided to take more courses. So this was like the first bread baking course that they offer for the summer. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And these bags are filled with all of the breads that we made. Not necessarily us, the students. The class is limited to 5 people. Only 2 of us showed up. Most of the bread was actually made by the instructor, and we kind of watched how it was done. When there's like 18 different breads mentioned in the course description for a 3-hour course, you don't expect a ton of hands-on time. But I did get some. So let's just see what we've got in the first bag. I got a knot in it, because this one wanted to fall off the seat in my car. What we have in here is, let me grab in here. This is a tomato basil brioche. It is not 100% cooked. These are par-baked so that we can finish baking them. This is just a plain honey wheat bread with sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and poppy seeds. Not just on it, but actually all the way in it. Again, these ones are all par-baked, so they need to be finished. This is just a plain brioche. These are actually completely baked. These were baked before we got to class, so that we would have something to snack on when we started. And this is a chocolate peanut butter chocolate chip brioche. It got kind of smashed. I forget what the little pop-up top thing is called. And then the rest of this bag is just more of them. There's a bunch of them in there. So we'll set that aside. There's my water bottle. There's my skillet. So what's in this bag? This bag has cinnamon rolls, which are all boxed up in here. I think we'll do it this way. Cinnamon rolls. We mixed up an icing made from powdered sugar, orange zest, and vanilla extract, and drizzled it over the top. And this is like one of my favorite breads. that we made tonight. And is one of the first breads that I'll probably be trying to make from this course. This is focaccia with red onions, tomatoes, fresh basil, and dried basil. This is, again, par baked, so it's not 100% baked, but it is delicious and awesome, and it's very close to the only yeast bread I know how to bake right now, which is a no-knead whole wheat ciabatta. They both come from very, very wet doughs. This... Oh, this... Okay, I know what this is. This is like Christmas for me. This is a tomato basil. It's the same dough that's in these little brioche. After we filled up all the brioche cups on the baking pans, we had a bunch of dough left over, so we made a bundt. And this is one section of the bundt. And it's still a little bit not all the way cooked in the middle. In this area. Oops. This area. So it's also the last thing to come out of the oven. We spent the last 10 minutes of class waiting for that to kind of finish up. And then beneath that in this bag is the other, the second to last thing that came out of the oven, which is the honey wheat seed braid. So let me set it down here so we can get a look at it. Okay, so like this. There is a sesame seed braid, a sunflower braid, and a poppy seed braid. And you can see the poppy seed starts here and goes under the sesame seed up to that. So this is one section. The actual braid was gigantic. This is probably about a quarter of it. I rolled the sesame seed braid. She gave me a lump of dough, told me to roll it out to match her dough. And so I did. And then we egg washed it and then rolled it in sesame seeds. That had come out of the oven, so that's actually completely cooked. But it's still very warm. Then, what is probably my favorite bread we made tonight is also the simplest bread, the most plain bread, and that is a baguette. This is just a beautiful baguette. The crust on this is gorgeous. She made these and popped them in the oven. This was like the first thing she popped in the oven when we got there. And they came out wonderful. Very good flavor on them too. Just great. This is my bag of dough, which I am going to turn into a baguette. And this, what is this? Oh, this is a collection. Let go of me, plastic bag. I have to hurry because there's not much time left. The video on my tablet can only record for like 9 or 10 minutes. So this is a miscellaneous collection. So there's a couple more brioche and breadsticks, cheesy breadsticks. She handed us some dough. She took a lump of dough, mixed it with shredded cheese. You can see that some of it's got quite a bit of shredded cheese mixed into it. And then had us roll it out into breadsticks. So these are, some of these did not turn out quite as even as the others, but I apparently did an excellent job because both the instructor and my classmate said, wow, yours are really nice. And so I'm like, great, thanks, perfect. These taste awesome. Pretty much the baguette, the brioche, this, which I forget what this is called. But what this is it's the same brioche dough, and then there's a creamy filling, and then a bunch of chocolate chips. And then you fold the dough over the top and bake it. This is great. Kind of a Danish-ish feel to it. So yeah, that's pretty much all the bread. All of this, so I paid $39 to take the course. I got all of the information from the course, and then all of this bread. Bunches of bread. So I am happy. I have to freeze some of it, and I got to take some of it to work to get rid of it, but that's it. All right, bye-bye.